in Salinas, as well as their Bodhi Day service. I want to thank all of you for joining us. Please make sure that your obutsudans are open, you have a candle lit, and incense burning as we begin today's service. I'll begin with the sutra chanting of the Sambujo, followed by a dedication reading, and then the Sambutsuge and the Jusege. During that time, we'll be scrolling the names of those observing Shotsuki in the month of December. When you see your family name, please go to your butsudans and make an offering of incense. Today, on this occasion of the Salinas Buddhist Temple Bodhi Day and December Shotsuki Hoyo, families have reverently come before Amida Buddha in memory of their beloved family members. With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida, we reaffirm the three homages. I go to the Buddha for guidance, I go to the Dharma for guidance, I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Kiya Butz, Namo Kiya Ho, Namo Kiya So. Nijigatsumani shuko enyo aishitsu onbe yu nyaku jimuku nyo lai yogen 저세무린 셔가그나이영거르지보 아이몬쇼진 산마이지에 이덕무려 슈셔게우진다이센넨셔부츠호카이 의진진나 그거가이다이머며 여그느세선여무 낸너시시진덕무려 그분고다이지에진며 검여 이서 신도다이 생강가 사부츠자이쇼호 가노쇼지미 부게다츠부세저위 가이닌 쇼진 요세선마이 지혜 이저거세 도그부츠 부겨시간 이사이 그그 이사나이양게시 어부츠 야크센노그만 머리어나이셔 슈녀거작 그여 이사이 시도셔부츠 부녀그도 현셔부격 희녀거자 쇼부세가이 무부가게 무슈스스도 검여시쇼 hen시쇼 거근여세 쇼진리진난려 려가사부츠 거근어다이에 거시기묘도저저세츠 거근여나이여 니무토서가 도와이민도다 저이사이 제보라이쇼 신나츠쇼저 이도가 거그게라크완노 거부신묘세가 신쇼호츠간노 히르기쇼쇼역 제보세선 지혜무게저려 시선 지가 신겨 계려 신시쇼그덕그즉 악요쇼진 닌즉 흑계 가건쇼세간이시무저더 시간범한석 세부조쇼가 가음을려거 부이다이세슈 의사이쇼뱅그 세부조쇼가 가시저부츠더 여쇼저지보 극경시쇼몬 세부조쇼가 이어그진쇼넨저의 슈봉여 시금의저더 이쇼텐넨 시진리기엔다이거 부셔무사이더 쇼저상금여 거사이슈야크난가이 지에겐 내시건너 안에서쇼와크더 쯔다츠센슈몬 어서저만석 이여러제번 이치가슈주기 엥거 엄버겐 이슈 가이호서 거세 그도고 요다이슈주 세포 시시 그여 이사이브 요서그슈 도공간에 시주저만 도구 이상가요 여부츠무게 지즈다츠미 부셔 강가 그웨리 도시 사이쇼선 시간야코카 다이센오칸도 거크쇼텐닌 또 진역해 아만다브 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 안니시그농의 면허세이사이 논모 나이신 온정 남만다 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 나모 아미다부 나모 아미다부 나모 아미다부 나모 아미다부 Thank you very much. And now I'd like to ask you to join me in the Gatha Shinshu Shuka. And if you have the large purple service book, it's on page 216. Shuka, number 12.深き実りに相まつる身の幸なりにたとべきひたすら道よ聞き開きママとの身胸いただかん永遠の闇よりすぐわれし身の幸なりに比ぶべき六時の皆を捉えつつ世のなりわりにいそしまん海の内との隔てなく匂やの徳の尊さを我が鼻からに伝えつつ三国の旅よ共にせん。And now on page 10, the threefold refuge. Difficult is it to receive a human form, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Dharma of the Buddha, now we hear it. If we do not cross over to the truth in the present life, in what life shall we cross over? Let us, with sincerity and true reverence, take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we, together with all sentient beings, awaken to the great way of enlightenment and to the unsurpassed intent of Amida Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we, together with all sentient beings, enter the storehouse of the Dharma, becoming like the wisdom ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we, together with all sentient beings, become units in true accord in harmony with all things. The peerless, profound, and wondrous Dharma is rare to encounter, even in many hundreds and thousands of kalpas. Now we are privileged to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teachings. Sankhya-mon, ninjin ukegatashi, ima sudeni yuku, puppo kikigatashi, ima sudeni kiku, kono mikonjo ni mukate dose zumba, sarani izure no sho ni mukata ka kono mi wo dosen, daishu morotomo ni shishin ni sambo ni kieshi tatematsuru beshi. 自ら仏に消えし立てまつる まさに願わくは史上と共に大道を体現して未上以降参自ら法に消えし立て祀るまさに願わくは史上と共に深く共造に知恵海のごとくならん自らそうに消えし立て祀るまさに願わくは史上と共に大衆を通りして一切無限ならん無常人人未妙の法は百千万語にもあよことかたし折今検問し受持することを得たり願わくは如来の真実義を下し立て祀らん何万道です何万道です何万道です何万道です Once again, good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today for our December Shotsuki Hoyo service. When I was preparing my talk today, I was amazed that we're observing December Shotsuki Hoyo already. Time really does go by fast. And I'm sure for all of you, as you remember your loved ones, time has gone by, and you may be telling yourself, as you calculate the years, that we say time has gone by so fast. And when we reflect upon all that has taken place since the time that your family members have died, it's a bit frightening. Probably what makes us think the most is how much everything has changed. How you have changed, how I have changed. We've all changed. And the world has changed so much. And each day as I go before the Butsudan here, I see, my family, my good friend Reverend Hamada, and I think how much time has gone by and how much has changed. When I think about my age now and how many years I've been living, I start to reflect back on events as far back as I can remember and thinking about my career as a minister. And the other day I was remembering about a small boy that I had met while I was in Seattle doing services there. And this small boy was probably in middle school when he came for a memorial service. And this was for his grandfather who had passed away. And we talked about different things at the service, but also after the service. And it was surprising to me that this young boy, he said, we were talking about music, and he said, "Oh, I really like Eric Clapton." And I thought, wow, this young boy who likes Eric Clapton. And many of you may know the story of Eric Clapton. He's a great musician. And his young son passed away. And he wrote a song. And I opened up the service with. Now what's interesting about this song and about this young boy is that this young boy, he had expressed to me that he was worried that his grandfather wouldn't recognize him. His grandfather who had passed away years ago. And the young boy was now middle school, and he was worried that his grandfather wouldn't recognize him. And it's interesting because Eric Clapton, despite the age difference of some 40 years, expressed the same concern, the same feelings. Our founder Shinran Shonin also recognized this very natural concern. And he once wrote, "It's saddening that so many people, both young and old, men and women, have died this past year. But the Tathagata taught the truth of life's transiency for us fully. So you must not be distressed by it." Now in this quotation, as the year is coming to an end, coming to a close, and a new one is approaching, Shinran is getting melancholy. He's lamenting. He's in his 70s or 80s rather when he wrote this. And he laments the passing of so many friends. So in this one thought, Shinran equates death with transiency or change. In our daily lives, things are changing all the time. How many of us, though, are regretting change or fear change or skeptical of change? In this world today, things are changing so fast. We all say we want change, but we want change on our terms. And it's hard to accept a change that is beyond our total control. So that is why Shinran reminds us of what the Buddha had taught and says, so you must not be distressed. So this is important, Shinran's message. Do not be distressed. Buddhism has always taught us that change is inevitable. And we fear change because we have no confidence or no trust, or we are not wise enough to accept that change. So if I were to ask all of you, do you have trust in all the causes and conditions for this existence? All of the things that people do for us, all the food that we eat, the shelters that we have, the clothes that we wear, all of these different causes and conditions for our existence. Do you trust in those things? If you have trust, then you can have confidence and accept the effects of all of our thoughts, words, and actions. And then life has meaning. There's a deep meaning, a deep feeling of gratitude for what we are receiving. If you have trust in your relationship with your family members whose names we scrolled on the screen, then we do not need to worry. We do not need to worry like this young boy or like Eric Clapton is. When we are small as children, we have trust in our parents. We have trust in things, so we have the confidence to proceed. We move forward. My good friend, I recall him telling me about when he left home for school. And he was going far away. And he was going to be gone for a while. And then his mother said to him, try your very best. Try your very best. And if that isn't enough, remember, we always are here for you. You always have a home to come back to. Well, this friend of mine, his mother passed away a little bit after that. And he said, now that the person that I love the most is gone, I realize that she is my role model for Amida Buddha. That even though I fail or change, the world of truth, that is Amida Buddha, is there and continues to embrace me. This is a wonderful message for all of you who've lost family members. You are not alone. We all experience this. But they can be our role model for Amida Buddha that is teaching us this truth of life, this truth of change. So my friend and all of us, as we grow up, we have trust in our parents, in our mothers and our fathers, like Amida Buddha, always embracing us. And we don't need to worry. Trust in what we have received and how it continues to influence each and every one of us. So as you observe December Shotsuki Hoyo, I do this service 3 times a month. I do it every month. And I think about all of you as you're observing these services. And I think it takes you back in time. It takes you back to the moment when you lost your father, you lost your mother, you lost your family members. And it's difficult, it's sad. But I hope you find comfort knowing that they're embraced by Amida Buddha. They themselves are Amida Buddha. Each time we say Namo Amida Butsu, they return to us. They are part of you and I, in our hearts and minds. Shinran said, and I'm paraphrasing, like the waves of Wakanodo Bay, I will return again and again. So each time you say the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, you are not alone. for I am with you. So each time we say Namo Amida Butsu, we are one with Amida. We are one with your family members. They return to you and are in your hearts and minds, teaching you this truth of life. So we should be holding these services as an expression of deep gratitude to them. Thank you very much. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Shonen shiru no kanke no muki wa shinji no motte honto sarare soro. Sono yue wa moro no zogyo nage sutete isshin ni mida ni kimi o sureba. Fugashigi no ganriki to shite bun no kate yori ojo wa jijo sashimeta mo. Sono kurai o 一年俸記入少女四十とも釈し、その上の称名年度と、習い我が往生定めたまいし、本法人の年度と、心べきなり、あなかしこ、あなかしこ。Shinran Shonin taught that the essence of Jodo Shinshu is Shinjin. The reason is that by abandoning all of the practices and completely entrusting ourselves in Amida Buddha, our spiritual rebirth is assured by Amida through the inconceivable power of the primal vow. This is known as entering the ranks of the truly assured at the very moment of Shinjin. Thereafter, all utterances of the Nembutsu should be understood only as expressions of gratitude for Amida's assurance of our spiritual rebirth. With reverence, I remain. Namman Dabus, Namman Dabus, Namman Dabus. Thank you very much. Before we close, I have a couple of announcements I want to make.
I want to introduce you to our Watsonville virtual Sangha. With COVID restrictions, we still aren't able to hold Sunday services in person. But until our temple is open, your image can represent you virtually. Here's how to join our virtual Sangha. Submit a color photo of yourself by email, text, or drop it off at the temple office. You can even have a picture of one of your loved ones who is no longer with us. Suggested donations for your cutout is $50 for adults, $35 for children, 12 and under, $35 for seniors over 80. Proceeds will go to the Buddhist Education Fund of Watsonville. Help us fill up our hondo with our virtual Sangha. See all those smiling faces. It's so great. Thank you very much.
In and playing bingo, I want to read to you the 5 bingo numbers for this week. First number is G47. G47. Second number, I22. I22. Third number, O71. O71. Fourth number, G49. G49. Third number, N45. N45. Good luck. If you have bingo, please contact the temple office. And I want to let you know that next week there'll be no Sunday services, but on the 28th, which is Monday, we'll begin streaming some videos about New Year's. On Monday the 28th, there'll be a video on Mochitsuki. And then on Tuesday, the 29th, there'll be a video on Shochikubai. And Wednesday, there'll be the 30th, there'll be a video on Toshikoshi Soba. And then on the 31st, there'll be a video on Ozoni and Sake. And then, of course, that evening at 8 o'clock will be the streaming of the New Year's Eve service. And you can view that on this same Tri-Temple YouTube site. And then on the following day, the 1st of January, of course, the 10 o'clock New Year's Day service. And finally, right here in this picture here, you see that we have the Watsonville Virtual Sangha. With the COVID restrictions, we still aren't able to hold services in person, but our temple is open, and your image can be seen virtually right here, just like that. And you can join this virtual Sangha by sending a color picture to the temple, or email, or text it, or drop it off at the temple. And you can even have a picture of someone who's passed away join us. Suggested donations are $50 for adults, $35 for children under 12, $35 for seniors over 80. Proceeds from this virtual Sangha will benefit the Buddhist Education Fund. So please join our virtual Sangha, and let's fill up our hondo with pictures of all of us, or all of you. And now I'd like to close with the Gatha Ondok-san 2. Let's see here. Yorai dai no ondoku wa miyoko ni shite mo hozu beshi shishu chishiki no The name in the original vow is the work of right assurance, the vow of the serene, sincere faith. It is the cause for birth, to attain the equal bodhi, and to be enlightened to the great nirvana, are due to the consummation of the vow, assuring the unfailing attainment of nirvana. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much, everyone. This will conclude our services today. Please stay healthy, stay safe, wear your masks, and we'll see you on the week of New Year's. Please be well. Thank you.